Hey guys, Ollie Archer. Thought I'd record a quick video for you guys just as a problem that came up this week with one of my clients, and I had to resolve it for her and I talked her through it, and I wanted to give some value back to you guys and see how you could potentially implement this for yourselves. Just as a quick background, I do run an agency and I have been running it for 10 to 12 months, which is helping creators actually effectively monetize their audience through building info products and paid communities. Now, yeah, I guess this problem that I kind of came up with, and the problem that actually got brought to me was like, my client was really struggling on how to actually make the educational content within her info product and her paid community. Now, usually content creators, you find content creation quite easy. It's natural to you. You've been doing it for a while, but like when it comes to actually making it educational and following a sort of structure, some people in my experience have found it quite difficult, and I'm kind of unsure as to why, but I worked through it and I kind of nailed it down to like a couple of reasons, but all kind of around the same idea of the fact that not having a plan or a framework to follow really does inhibit you in terms of actually being able to create educational content that is quality. So yeah, my client came to me and was like, I'm really struggling with these videos. I don't know how to go about it. It's new to me. I feel uncomfortable. All the rest of the things, right? And yes, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. It's gonna feel new to you, but that's the thing. If you have a plan and a framework to go by, then you just follow it. And then once you do it 3 or 4 times, it becomes more natural and you gain more confidence doing it. So it's natural to feel weird. It's natural to feel uncomfortable, but that's just where you gotta start, and everyone's gotta start at some point. And eventually, over time, you'll gain more confidence and it will slowly become more and more normal. So yeah, the thing was literally not having a plan, a framework, a structure to follow in terms of creating the video, and not just rambling on, creating a random video, just talking about random ideas and having no kind of plan and just some sort of chaotic, random, spontaneous video. It's not going to actually get results in terms of actually teaching your audience. So I worked through this with my client and kind of broke down the video into 3 different sections and kind of started to get her ask some questions ask questions to herself about what's actually going on and what kind of questions her audience might potentially have, and trying to solve that through the video at the same time. So yeah, the main thing I would say is not having a framework and structure to actually follow and a plan pre-creating the video. Having a plan going into it with some sort of structure is going to inhibit you actually creating good content, because you're going to be all over the place. You're going to be explaining one thing, then explaining another thing, jumping back over, and it's just going to be a complete mess, and the person watching the video is going to have no idea what the hell's going on. They're not going to be able to actually take in what you're trying to teach them, because you're bouncing all over the place and you're not really nailing in any point home, rather covering a bunch of different topics at once, rather than covering completely one topic at a time. And that's going to inhibit your audience actually learning from you, and it's going to inhibit the total quality of your actual video as a whole. So the kind of plan I go by, and I went by actually creating the plan and structure for my client, was like, okay, what is the goal? What is the outcome? Who is it for? And what are they doing? And what are they actually doing to achieve the goal? So, what is the goal? What is the outcome? What are people actually trying to get from the video? And then you start with that, which is kind of the end of the video, right? The end goal. And then you work your way backwards. So it's like, okay, what actions need to be taken to actually get to this goal? And that's the what. Who is it for? Specifics. The more specific you are and the more niche you are with the type of video, the more it's going to hit home and resonate with that singular person. And I've mentioned this before, is like one singular person in a total population is just a fractal of the overall population. So if you nail it down to one specific person, that one specific person is going to exist 100 times elsewhere. So rather than trying to be so broad with your video and in terms of teaching and being really broad and covering broad topics, the more specific you go and the more in-depth you go into one topic, the more it's going to appeal to that one person. But that one person will exist another 100 times, and you're going to resonate really well with 100 people rather than half resonating with, say, 1,000 people, right? And that's going to be better in terms of the quality of the video, because the more it hits home and the more it resonates with the viewer and the person actually consuming the content, then the better the content's going to be. So yeah, to sum that point up, plan the video, a goal, the outcome, who's it for, what actions are they taking, and once you build a plan as to that and you start filling out the answers to those questions, you add things like opinions, beliefs, ideas, how did you get to certain points, and you start to kind of chuck those in and ask yourself the question over and over again, what questions are my audience going to be having about this topic? And if you answer that question and then you think, okay, what questions are going to have about that explanation? And then you keep building it and building it and building it to a point where you're going to get some really good in-depth content. And that's the way you need to go about it. So rather than just rambling on, again, covering points here, there, everywhere, just going back and forth, rambling on, just trying to get the time in, trying to record a video that you think will hit home, but no, it's not. Having a plan, A to B, step-by-step points and guide in terms of, number one being the most important and working your way through to the least important topic. That's going to build structure within the video, and it's going to be easier for people to actually follow along and learn from it. And once they learn from it, then it's going to get them results, and they're going to consume your content more. It's like, the more random you are with what you're saying, and the more all over the place you are, and the more sporadic you are, you're just going to lose the audience attention, because they're going to have no idea what's going on. You need your audience to actually understand what you're saying, what you're teaching, and what you're explaining for them to actually get it. And the more structure you are, the better the process is that you have in terms of actually going through it and making a video, the better the consumption of the video is going to be, and the better results you're going to get. So make sure that whatever you're saying has actual purpose behind it and actual effect behind it, rather than just any irrelevant point within the video. Get rid of it. You don't need it. There's no point chucking in irrelevant points just to ramble on and waffle and create, meaningless words. It's like hit home specifics on every single point. Who cares if the video is short? It's not about making a long video. It's about making an effective video. So, build it out, have a plan, get rid of all irrelevant topics, hit home what are the most important things, order them from most important to least important, because with the natural attention span of most people nowadays, they're going to get bored at some point. So the better the more important topics at the start, the better they're going to consume the content. Maybe they only go through 5 out of the 10 topics, but the first 5 are better than the last 5, and now they're in a better position than they were before recording the video. So yeah, this is just a short video today. Just wanted to go over creating educational videos. It's like, look, you have to have a plan and a structure to go by, otherwise it's not going to work, and you're going to feel uncomfortable, and you're going to feel like you're just rambling because you haven't got a plan. So plan it out before, then create the video, and then if you do want to add things, then just re-record it or chuck stuff in, or get rid of irrelevant points and make it shorter and make it more concise. But yeah, that's just the problem I had with my client, and she was like, I don't know how to make these videos, and it was like, okay, let's build a structure to it. This is how we're going to go. And then once she got that structure in place, it seemed so easy for her. She was just like, okay, point by point, knocking it off, ticking it off, and then you end up with a nice 10-minute video, and she's explained 5 different ideas in detail, and she's actually got what she's trying to teach across to the people that are watching. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, guys. There will be a link in the description to book a call with me, and in that call we'll just have a chat about how we can potentially implement this for you. As I did mention before, I do run an agency that has been helping creators build effective ways to monetize their audience and build a predictable income stream through it. So yeah, the link in the description will just be a call and a chat about how we can potentially implement one of our systems for you and effectively get you, a predictable income stream through your audience. So yeah, that's all I wanted to go over. At the end of the day, like realistically, I don't really mind if you click the link or not. It's just there if you do want to have a chat and talk about how we can potentially build a system for you to effectively monetize your audience. It is there, but the main thing is that you got some value from this video. So yeah, leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll be creating more videos like this in the future for you guys to listen through and learn about how to actually monetize your audience more effectively. So yeah, thanks. See you later.